Alright, so here I go. Another day to get dough. So, what do you know about visualization? I know that visualization is huge, is gigantic. It's part of that mindset being like the 80/20, you know, mindset being the most important. You can have all the skills in the world when it comes to getting money, you can have all the connections when it comes to getting money, but if your mindset ain't right, you're limiting yourself drastically. So, this has to be an important topic, visualization. I'm about to drop it. So, why I'm saying visualization is huge, I'm going to break into, why it is, how to use visualization correctly, and, kind of the next step after that. And as always, if there's anything you want me to break down more, any questions, any comments, go ahead and leave them. Try to expand on what I can. So, my own really experience with visualization started back when I first started getting into the success mindset, business success, all that kind of knowledge. I was I was like doing entrepreneurial stuff on a lower level where I didn't really make too much money with it, and it wasn't really like planned out. It was just kind of like a side hustle, and I was doing all the jobs and everything, and that was really where I thought, like my future was gonna be. I was like, yeah, just keep on getting these degrees, go back to school for like, I already have my business administration bachelor's. I'm like, well, if I just get a master's, and then I went and I like tried out the master's, and I found that everybody that was in that program was in there because their boss told them that if they went, they would get a raise, and their boss was paying for it, and there was nobody really, I thought it was going to be a great way to connect with other business people, but everybody in there was an employee. There was nobody else in there that was really running their own business, and now I understand why. Because if you were already running a successful business, why would you waste your time going to a school to have them have you read like textbooks and have them tell you stuff when for the most part they haven't really even done it themselves? So yeah, I quickly realized that wasn't the path. I realized, like, you know what, I'm gonna dedicate everything to my own thing. I'm not about to spend my life working on somebody else's business, making them at least 10x of what they're paying me. Most importantly, I feel like in life, you got to be going after your own goals. You got to be going after your own dreams, and that's where visualization comes in, is because it can make you, see that better, and just feel what it's like when you reach that point. So, yeah, gonna go into again, why visualization is important, how to use visualization when it comes to getting anything you want, whether it's money, whether it's a house, whether it's a pool, whether it's a golf course, whether it's a spaceship, whatever it is. So, gonna talk about really, like, after the visualization process is done, how to kind of get started, because visualization is not everything. You can't just sit there and like use visualization and expect that everything is going to come to you, which is a lesson that I learned, and something that kind of hindered me from using visualization to its fullest potential when I first learned about it. Because when I was first learning about visualization and success, a lot of people were criticizing it, talking about stuff along the lines that you can't just visualize, like you have to like visualization doesn't work, you have to actually work and all that stuff, which they were right and wrong at the same time, because visualization does work, but you can't just use it by itself. You actually have to like apply action to it. Visualization helps, like it's like if you like just keep working every day with no plan, where you're gonna end up, versus like if you have a plan and you work every day, you're probably going to end up at a better spot. And if you apply visualization to that, you're probably going to end up at an even better spot. So, getting into it, I would have to say that visualization is basically, a mental picture. Like making a mental picture of what you want to see, who you want to be, where you want to be, what you want to have, stuff like that. So I think the best way to really start visualization, see what you want, all that kind of stuff. Think about it, what's it going to look like when you get it and everything. But to use it on another level, the way I use it more on a daily basis, like when I first started, I used it, to like think about the stuff I wanted, but I already know that now. So now what I'm using it for is to really like get there. So like I think the best way to use visualization on a daily basis, once you already know what you want, is to really just, have a mental picture of yourself performing at your best. Like think about it like, what do I got to do today to get to where I want to be? And think about yourself doing that. Think about putting out the best quality work that you can possibly do. Thinking about how you're going to feel when you complete what you want to do. Thinking about, the best you can feel, like what you're doing. You should be doing what you love. You should be doing stuff that like gives you energy. You should be doing stuff that makes you feel good, stuff that makes you motivated, stuff that's helping other people. So picture all of that. Picture like the positive aspects that's going to come from that. And I would say the next step, that's like the daily basis thing, but also you want to, for the bigger picture, kind of imagine what you're gonna feel like, what it's gonna be like when you actually like achieve what you want to achieve. So like say you want to make like $1 million a year. Think about how awesome it's gonna be when you have that $1 million a year. Thinking about all the stuff you're gonna be able to do with that money. Thinking about all the positive aspects of it. The wrong thing to do would be to think about like how you don't have that money yet, thinking about how you're in debt, thinking about how you're never going to get to where you want to be, how hard it's going to be to make that money. Like that's just going to be a self-fulfilling prophecy. So visualization works two ways. It can work against you or it can work for you. And when I'm really out talking to people about money, talking to people about success and success principles, one of the main problems I really see with people is like, they don't really believe it. They don't really use visualization, so at least they don't consciously use visualization. They're still using visualization in a way that they're thinking about how, kind of the rat race, how everybody else doesn't have to do anything and they're making so much money, and how it's unfair, and how, they're going to be stuck forever, and how their boss is giving them a hard time, and how work is so difficult, and all these things. And the more you like reflect on that, the more you think about that, that's going to become your reality. So the worse things are going to get for you. And a lot of people just like sit at a standstill and make the same amount of money for many years, and then they get like some, maybe work really hard to get some 10% raise, but like really, like why work somewhere that you don't want to be for however many years so you can make 10% more, and then that you don't even have control how much money you make. That's why you want to be in control of this stuff. That's why you want to have passive income sources, multiple of them, so that you can really have more control over the kind of money you're bringing in. Visualize how much you want. Don't doubt it. Like feel like you're gonna feel good when you get it. Think about what that's gonna feel like. Use that visualization to your advantage, not your disadvantage. Don't bring yourself down with all the negative things that you feel like you're experiencing on a daily basis, because when you stop doing that, you're gonna find that the negative stuff just kind of fades away. Or even when you do find yourself in a negative spot, you will recognize it right away, and you'll be able to just like go in the other direction and find where the positive vibes are. So yeah, visualize when you're feeling your best. Visualize yourself feeling just really good. That's part of being rich, is just feeling good in the first place. Because something I learned back before business, something I learned back in the poker game was like, something I learned back in the poker game was like, if you feel good, you're going to continue to make good decisions. If you make a bad decision, you want to kind of cool down for a while and like reset, because bad decision, you kind of get down, you lead to more bad decision. You make a good decision, little by little, you're going to start feeling good, and you're going to keep making good decisions. So the better you feel, the better decisions you're going to make, the more positive you're going to be, the better you're going to be at visualizing stuff. So yeah, you want to feel good. Visualize yourself feeling good. What kind of foods do you eat? How much water you drinking? Staying hydrated. Getting out in nature, stuff like that, exercise. So whatever you need to feel good, visualize that. So the best time to really use visualization, I feel like, is in the morning. Try to do it like once a day if you can, twice a day. The next best time to be would be like in the evening. And the morning is when you really have the most clarity. You wake up, you feel good, kind of reset from the night before. It's a new day. First thing you do, really go ahead and just like, only if you want, you can do it for like a minute, you can do it for like 10 minutes, you can do it for an hour, whatever. But just think about it. Just use that visualization, thinking about feeling good, thinking about doing your best, thinking about what you want, not even how you're gonna get it, but like what you think the path for that day would be like. And just, as always, just be open to changing your path to get to where you want to be. Don't be set on like ABC to get there. You might find yourself like AGF to get there or something like that, skipping steps. If you just have the open mind to it, you don't have to take the certain path. Like, go with the flow, see what life brings you to get it. Like, life will bring you what you want if you use the visualization right. So yeah, expect good things to happen. Like don't doubt it. Like, that's a huge thing. Like, when I first used visualization, like, I didn't really trust it. Like, it was something where I just had to like keep doing until I realized like, wow, this does work. And now I totally believe in it, so I don't really doubt it anymore. And I see like more growth, more improvement. All this stuff is coming to me more quickly. So I just stick to what I'm trying to do. Expect good things always. A lot of people, kind of expect bad things are gonna happen. Like, well, I hear people say a lot, like, why even try, because this or this is gonna happen. And it's like, well, if that's what you think, that's probably what's gonna happen. But when I tell people that, they're not really trying to hear that. They're just like, yeah, that's that hippie bull, whatever. And I'm just like, man, like, you call it what you want to call it, but until you want to try it and trust in it, you're not gonna get any benefit from it. So yeah, expect good things to happen. And always too, like, know why you want what you want. Like, why do you want that money? Why do you want to be a millionaire? Why do you want that boat? Why do you want that house? Because really, like, a lot of things I've seen with other people and myself as well, not so much anymore because I understand this now, but in the past, I would like really want something, a certain amount of money, whatever, and I would get it, and it wouldn't really make me as happy as I thought it would. And it'd just be like, okay, well, what's next? And because I never really looked at like, well, why do I even want that in the first place? There's probably a deeper meaning. Like, why do you want that money? Is it to buy a house? Is it to make people think that you're really rich? Is it to get some kind of like wife or husband, or whatever you think that money's gonna bring? Go and reflect on that. Visualization will help you see that too, because when you visualize about what you want, and what visualize about how that's gonna make you feel when you get it, it kind of like opens the door to seeing like, well, once you get it, maybe it's really just a window to something else. So just be aware of that. And this first part of this video right here is gonna be closing with the with pretty much like an idea of like, at the end of the day, once you've done the visualizing and it's time to like do what you gotta do, just relax and trust that everything is gonna work out. Like, have that intuition. Have your intuition saying that, like, everything's good. No need to stress it. Like, whatever happens is gonna happen. You can't really control things. It's better not to try to control stuff in life. That's another video for another day. But basically, I see a problem where people, they want to acquire things so that they can have more control over their environment, over their possessions, over people around them. And I mean, like, that doesn't work. Like, ancient books have been written about how the best way to rule, the best way to acquire is to not control, but to let everything be free. I can see that in this society a lot right now. There's a lot of people that are really trying to hold on to a control of a system that they have set down with, money flowing in certain directions and certain people getting certain jobs, and just a whole system that is falling apart. And just certain people don't want to see the change. They want to just try and scrape and try to see how much like longer they can control everything, which that's just gonna not work for them. Like, they don't They don't like to see people out here, you know, getting rich so easily. Like, they want people to think it's hard to get money. Like, you know, that's simply not true. And time's gonna tell, and people are gonna see the truth. So, you know, kind of going off the topic there for a second, but I thought it was something important to tie to this. So yeah, just relax and trust. Just like, don't even stress it. Just know that everything's gonna work out. It's all part of the visualization process. So really, that's about all I got to say right now for visualization. And once you're kind of done with the visualization, just always remember, like, there's a second part to it, and that's taking the action. So like, if you're trying to visualize like getting money basically, or getting some kind of business started up, which is, you know, more like my focus, more what the stuff that I've been studying for a long time, you want to do some like business plan research. So once you have that idea of what you want, once you visualize, like, you know, how you're going to be your best self to get it, how it's going to be, all that kind of stuff, go ahead and just do a little bit of research, right? Take some action as far as like making a list of all the people and companies that are already doing what you're trying to do, or something similar to what you're trying to do. Then make a list of all the products that they offer. If you can, go ahead and buy those products, or at least like check them out, try them out, become familiar with them. Think about, you know, what can you do to do it better? Like, how can you disrupt what's already out there? You know, like, I see the system is really got a lot of people tricked into thinking that they gotta, you know, work really hard and, you know, maybe work a second job to pay off their debt, and there's no other way around that, and you gotta go to school to get a good job and make a lot of money and all that. Like, yeah, I mean, those barriers are getting broken down. Those ideas are starting to become more and more obsolete to people. So yeah, just trying to help people see that. So, you know, see how you can disrupt what's already out there. And pretty much the easiest companies to disrupt right now are big corporations. Like, we're seeing more and more in the business world how, you know, one person or a small group of people can come through with an idea that's better than a, you know, big corporation that's like multi-billion dollars and hundreds of thousands of whatever many people. And all it takes is like a Uber or Airbnb or just some kind of like idea like that to come through and just like wipe out a whole corporation. Corporations are so stale and old. It's like the old system of doing things. Like, they've already pretty much shown that they're all about, you know, their board of directors and all that kind of stuff, and their stock prices more than they even are to their customers, and providing value. So all you have to do is provide more value than them. Come through. How can you help people more? How can you provide more value to people than these corporations that are so short-sighted and have these huge corporate structures where, you know, the person that actually deals with the customers has to go through like 10 floors of managers and supervisors before like an idea can even get to the top, and then that person has to make that decision and pass that idea down to all these other people before it gets back to the person. Like, when you're the person that's actually, like, you know, disrupting these corporations, you can go ahead, think on the fly, think on the spot, and you can make these decisions right away on how to help people better, and be surprised at how quick you can disrupt a huge company and just take their market share overnight. You don't need investors too. That's going to be another video I'm going to do. Like, don't think about how to get investors and all that stuff. Like, that's just like, no, you don't need that. There's always a way around that. There's always a way to keep control of everything. That's why a lot of these big corporations, they don't even have control. You know, the investors come in and they can fire the people, and people that even started the company, you know, investors can come in and say, like, we don't like the way you're doing things anymore, and get rid of them. Like, you don't want that. You want to keep control of everything. Like, there's always a way. You don't need investors. So getting back to the topic, think about who you want for your customers. Think about, you know, visualize what's your like ideal customer going to be. Create like some customer bios. Like, go ahead, just like you would write out your goals for what you want, write out your goals for what you want your customers to be like. Obviously, like, people you'd want to be spending time with, people you'd want to be interacting with, and not the opposite. So yeah, look at if you can get some business plan examples. Get some business plan examples from businesses that are like yours, businesses that are already out there, and just kind of, you know, look what they did and see how you can make it better. And you don't even really need a business plan for a business, but it'll help. Like, you'd be surprised how much it'll help, even if you just check on it, you know, every month or two. Just give it a quick glance, see what it's about. So yeah, just look at what else is out there. And then I also advertising. Look at how these other companies are advertising. That's a whole other video too, because a lot of these big corporations are advertising the same way that they did, like, 50 years ago. And they're spending, millions and millions of dollars on these like old school methods of advertising. And all it takes is read a couple books and learn through trial and error of, just doing online ads, guerrilla marketing, tons of different guerrilla marketing tactics that are super cheap. But yeah, basically all about disrupting these big companies, all about making the world better, all about providing more value to people. That's going to be about it for today. Hope you like what I got to say. Bringing it to you with no delay. If you like what I said, go ahead and smash up the likes. Go ahead and leave some comments, like I was saying, anything you want me to expand on, any questions, anything at all. And I'm out.